Okay, you guys saw from my free produce box this week that I got a ton of zucchini. This is not even half of the zucchini I got. And last week we got a whole bunch of baby tomatoes, which we still have. We got a bunch of bell peppers. I'm growing my own basil and garlic. And that's some leftover vegan Parmesan. I'm fixing to make a sauce that I'm going to be able to freeze for future dinners. It would make a great pasta sauce, a sauce for rice, a sauce to go over the top of greens, a sauce for whatever you want. And I'm going to be showing this to you guys step by step, and it is amazing. So here are the ingredients. A medium or large red onion. You need 8 cups of chopped zucchini, chopped small. I'm not sure how much it's going to take. You're going to need some whole tomatoes and a can of crushed tomatoes. Some olives, you can have any kind you want. We use green. Some capers. Some bell peppers that are going to be diced very small. Some red chili flakes. I get mine by the bulk. Some dried parsley. Some fresh basil if possible. Garlic cloves, however much garlic you like. And some fresh Parmesan for the top. Or you can make your Parmesan, that recipe that uses nuts and nutritional yeast and stuff. I just happen to have this left over, and that's what I'm going to use. Alright, I'll be back to show you guys what's going on after I chop up some veggies. 8 cups of zucchini chopped very small. See how small it is? Okay, it's going to go into the pan. That's already heated. After it cooks it off a little bit, I'm going to add some salt to get the rest of the water out of it. I just barely oiled the pan, just lightly, because I want to caramelize the zucchini as much as I can. I have water boiling for my low-carb, high-protein pasta that I'm going to be using. I'll list it below. And I'll be back in just a little bit to show you guys what's next. Okay, so one thing you're really going to have is patience when you're making this, because there is so much liquid that has to be cooked out of the zucchini. Whether you use zucchini or eggplant, which I actually got this recipe from one of my favorite YouTubers, which I will link down below. I will link her a recipe for what she made. She used eggplant. I didn't have eggplant. I had an abundance of zucchini. But the liquid coming out of these things is unreal. So you really have to have patience. And you're going to cook it for a while. I've been at this now for at least 30 minutes. But I'm going to really quickly add in a little bit of my pepper flakes while this is cooking down. We like spicy. If you don't like spicy, don't add as many as I am. Also going to add in some of my dried parsley. And again, just use however much. Whoa! Probably not that much, but it's a good thing we like herbs. I'm going to mix that in there. Ooh, that gave it a really unique smell. Nice. Okay, and I only ended up using one of my small green bell peppers and one of the red ones because that made a lot more than I was expecting. I'm going to put that in here right now to cook it in. Isn't that looking pretty? Okay, I'll be back. Alright, it's starting to cook down, and we are going to add in our finely chopped minced onions. Red onion to be exact. I'm going to put that in here and get those to caramelize them now too. I'll be back. Look at this beautiful stuff. And look how most of the water's gone now. That's what you want. You want it to get nice and dry. It's not as dry as I'm going to get it, but I hope. But I'm going to add in my garlic now. Got a little messed up garlic here. You can put however much garlic as you want. I just got a bunch of fresh garlic, freshly picked. I mean, it still has the stems or anything on it. I'm putting in, I've been drying it out on my windowsill for the past few days. And I'm going to put in about 6 cloves, I believe that was, because we really like garlic. I'm only going to cook the garlic in here just a little bit. You don't want to overcook garlic because it gets bitter. You know, so I'm going to cook this a little bit more. Then I'm going to be adding the tomatoes. And I've already sliced all of my cherry tomatoes in half and then just added the can of the other can of tomatoes in here. So I'm going to cook this just a few minutes to get that garlic softened up a little bit, and then I'll be adding the tomatoes, and then after that will come the capers and olives, and I'll show you that as we go. Alright, here we go. I'm dumping in the tomatoes. The whole reason I did it like this is because she says in her video, that the girl that I got this idea from, that you can either use canned tomatoes or fresh tomatoes, so I decided to use a little bit of both. because why not, right? I had them, so that's what I'm going to do. Right, I'm going to let this cook down a little bit, and then I'll be adding in my capers and olives, and then we'll be almost to the end. Okay, so I also added a 6-ounce can of tomato paste because it just wasn't giving me the texture that I wanted, the consistency. So yeah, I did that. That was the thing. And I'm adding my green olives and capers in. Now, I haven't added any other spices in here because she says that the green olives will give them a certain saltiness, the capers are going to give them a certain tanginess, and that you don't need any other spices. But I'm going to taste it here in a little bit, and if I think it does, I will be adding some garlic powder. We'll see. We'll see. I might want to add some Italian seasonings in here. But I'm going to trust her judgment for now, and I'll let you guys know. Okay, check this out. See this stuff on the bottom of my pan? I actually wanted it to do this for several reasons. It means it's dried out, and this is stuff that makes the best flavor. You got to have something to be able to take it off with. So I added a little bit of olive juice brine from the olives, and a little bit of water. And I'm just going to put just enough in here to get to loosen up the stuff on the bottom of the pan, so I can mix that in and make the flavor. Ah, yummy. Okay, I'm turning this off. Let it cool down just for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to add the basil. I have 2 different kinds of basils because I've got all kinds of them for my little pod that goes in my window. Isn't that beautiful though? And I took a little taste already. She was right. You don't need to add no more spices. You can if you want to, but you don't need to. I'm going to be adding half of the Parmesan cheese and all of the basil, mixing that all in, and then a little bit, saving a little tiny bit of parsley to go on top. And I'm also going to be adding in my low-carb pasta. So, we'll be back. I put the pasta in here already, and I let it soak up a bunch of the flavor before I'm going to add the other stuff. But it's so good, you guys. So I'm going to add my Parmesan cheese in here so I can mix it in with this. Saving a little bit to go on top of our stuff. And then all this basil. Oh my goodness. The smell, the freshness, everything about this is amazing. Now, I didn't do mine exactly like the girl whose link I'm going to be showing you, that I cannot think of her name right now. But I did it close enough. I had most of the stuff that she put in hers, and then I just made a few tweaks to make it my own. But yeah, it's amazing. I'll be back. And there we go. She said her husband loves this so much that she's had to make it 3 times in 1 week. I can't wait to see if my husband loves it that much. That's it. All done.